A sheriff in Las Vegas, Nevada, is refusing to release an offender who has been arrested 35 times despite the official order of a judge, ultimately triggering a legal showdown, making its way to the Nevada Supreme Court over who will be able to make the decision as to whether or not a suspect should remain in jail. According to KLAS, this dispute originally started after Eric Goodman, a Las Vegas Justice Court judge, ordered Joshua Sanchez Lopez to be released on electronic monitoring, a system allowing defendants to leave jail with a GPS ankle bracelet. However, law enforcement officials declined to release Joshua Sanchez Lopez, stating that he is too dangerous to supervise in the local community due to his criminal history. According to reports cited by KLAS, Joshua Sanchez Lopez is a 36-year-old felon with a record that contains a total of 35 arrests as well as previous time in prison for both drug and involuntary manslaughter charges. Police are stating that his past behavior is something that raises significant concerns. According to further records cited by KLAS, in an arrest that took place in 2020, Joshua Sanchez Lopez ran from police officers while holding a gun, and later on made a Snapchat post that showed his ankle monitor with a statement that revealed he was chased once again. Officials say these particular types of cases are the reason that the sheriff's office believes it should undoubtedly have the final say as to whether or not criminal offenders should be placed in the monitoring program. Mike Dickerson, an assistant general counsel for the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department, told KLAS that this is an issue having to do with the overall safety of the general public. The case originates from Joshua Sanchez Lopez's arrest in January on a charge of what is known as grand larceny involving a motor vehicle. KLAS reported that at a court hearing, Judge Eric Goodman set the bail at $25,000 and ordered significant electronic monitoring of Joshua Sanchez Lopez. fundamentally placing him under complete house arrest if he posted bond. According to the outlet, authorities refused to release Joshua Sanchez Lopez, citing previous bench warrants as well as violations of the monitoring program and failures to appear in court. The outlet also reported that following the department's refusal to release Joshua Sanchez Lopez, Judge Eric Goodman warned of sanctions of contempt if the department did not comply. Retired police detective David Moody stated that the safety of the public must come first. Any sane individual can recognize the undeniably repugnant failure of such a fractured legal system. Delusional judges and prosecutors are doing everything they can to release the most violent criminals back into society, and citizens across the country are becoming increasingly aware of such brazen behavior. There is absolutely no excuse for this form of hopelessly inadequate criminal justice. Local courts are nothing short of a laughing matter, and local communities are paying the price. The belief that a simple electronic monitoring program is enough to prevent individuals such as Joshua Sanchez Lopez from becoming a public safety threat is one that always leads to profound chaos and misery. In the past, countless repeat offenders were released from correctional facilities, and it has resulted in nothing but horrific bloodshed. Such traumatizing accounts cannot be denied. Regardless of how they feel they should conduct themselves in order to preserve their careers, legal attorneys can no longer turn a blind eye to the utter carnage that comes from such unhinged decision-making. This is something that has become a very serious issue. Legal attorneys struggle to maintain their composure in the face of what is obviously a mental illness exhibition masquerading as a coherent legal proceeding. One can no longer act as though releasing the most dangerous offenders under supervision is sufficient. There is, unfortunately, a great deal of corruption involved in these types of cases, and plea bargaining and early releases are also things that are ultimately at play. These are some of the factors that contribute to such disastrous outcomes. Irrefutable evidence and detailed information do not seem to matter to these ignorant judges who seem to enjoy formulating nonsensical statements in the midst of very serious cases. Whether or not some of these judges are under the influence of hallucinogenic substances remains a mystery. The very thought of such violent individuals becoming members of society again almost seems to arouse them as they make shameless decisions that result in the suffering of innocent people. The citizens of the United States need to make their voices heard in light of such disgusting behavior. People need to make it clear that this kind of complete and utter nonsense will not be tolerated. The people of the United States need to engage in discussions with regard to the framework of the legal system, as well as the kind of society they want for future generations. If this problem continues to get worse, it will have profound ramifications, and innocent people will continue to pay the price. There is no reason for what is transpiring in the courts. There is no reason for this kind of outlandishness during such chaotic times. This is something that people need to understand. Violent criminals should not be released.